23 o'clock GMT. Let's get started. Let's kind of take a look at what I'm going to go over just quickly of the positions I'm still in. CAD Yen, went over all these in trade recap. So if you're interested, just take a look at that on TradingView or YouTube. So still in CAD Yen, just like the overall structure here. We broke down now. We're kind of at this area where the previous bottom of this larger structure. So anything can happen here. Preferably just seeing more correction, and then we're just going more downside as we go and to the lows of structure. So we'll see what happened for this beginning of Monday. Aussie Kiwi still in this one. Initial target 5.821 or so. Running about almost 4-1 now. So we'll see what happens. I just ultimately want to see more bullish momentum and just kind of hit to the previous top of the structure. Last trade I'm still in. I'm still in Ripple. So this is my Ripple entry. Almost got tagged out here. I think it was just a spread there for market. But I'm still in this trade, still in this position. Happy to hold it and see what will happen in the upcoming time. Okay, so I mentioned that I'm happy to take a loss here if this is going to form a deeper consolidation or correction, and then we're still going to go upside afterwards, and I'll re-enter or look for a buy entry if that's going to be happening for the market. If not, I'm just happy to hold this trade. If I take out for a loss, that's fine. And then still looking very good. Still looking very good for other crypto pairs, which I'll go over. Which I'll go over now, actually, since this is what we've been looking at. We know Bitcoin has been breaking up. We know that's likely to bring momentum for other crypto pairs. So it's very important to kind of keep an eye on these. I'll pick off the best ones that I so far are looking great. Ripple is definitely one of them. I like Ripple's higher time frame. We broke out this overall structure here. You can see that there was impulsive move correction, and we break out once again. And this looks like can be that larger continuation correction that can continue push the price up further. And if we look at overall price condition, we're still just right in the beginning. We still have all this move to the top, and then if we continue to get bullish momentum, we can certainly see the price continue to push up to all this previous top and continue onwards. Right, so we're at the low area, so this is a pretty good area where we should be thinking of buying or should be thinking for holding in that sense, because we really haven't been this low for a while in terms of price, and we'll continue breaking up now. This is good price action condition. We're just having a bullish impulse, bullish correction, and continue upwards. So I'm happy to hold the position if that's going to, and then for long-term wise. So that's Ripple. A couple other ones I'm looking at. Stellar, really good price action as well here. This is all bullish activities here. We have all this move that we push up, massive bullish impulse phrase, and then naturally price needs a longer period of consolidation. We have this correction pushing down, and now we'll be moving up. Impulse, correction, impulse, correction, impulse. And if this is going to be a larger continuation, then I'd like to see price develop that, complete, and then push up this point forward and continue to the top. All these top are just initial targets because there's just a lot more room towards on the higher time frame. There's price has been much higher as well, so you can expect we could get that reversal or rebound in the upcoming month or quarter or year. So that's XRM. Tron really quickly as well. I like that we push out from this kind of descending channel or falling wedge, and price push up, correction, and push up again. This can just be a larger kind of a expanding correction to push the price even further as a continuation. So we're eager to see what we'll do here in upcoming day. We're seeing a bottom potentially now, so can we just continue up in this fashion and pushing up forward and forward? Litecoin or Litecoin, LTC here. This was a perfect buy entry that I mentioned in the chat, like that breakout, and then just waiting for a lower time frame correction. That's all we see when you complete a larger structure like this. And on the lower time frame, this was a clear buy in my opinion, but I was in Ripple, so happy to take Ripple instead. It was about the same entry time, but we're potentially getting another buy opportunity. I like how how we impulse up very aggressively from this larger correction. There was a smaller correction here, but I was more waiting for a larger potential channel, potential kind of parallel channel to form here, and then completes that, and then break out, and then continue more after that. So certainly expecting, certainly expecting a correction to develop here, and then just to see how, what price will form in this area. Hello, nice to see you. EOS kind of pushed up and then pushed down, but structurally potential continuation still, right? We understand that price breakout from this kind of a descending channel or falling wedge. We push up. We originally see this. I originally drew a structure like this. We push up, but then we push down once more. But potentially we're forming just a larger expanding structure that can have multiples of swing highs and swing low, and then still continue upwards. So happy to see further development on this one. Dash, very similar idea. Most of the crypto, right? We have this impulsive phrase of the market. We had this impulse, reverse impulse. We've seen many of these pairs that we just went over. Descending channel, push up, lower current frame correction, and push up once again. And is this going to be a larger continuation structure that we see oftenly as an expanding structure that will just continue the price up afterwards? So a further development here is needed, but I'm liking how most of them are shaping up for a potential buy in the upcoming days or a week. Bitcoin, I prefer to see a deeper correction. There was some correction here. Maybe some of you guys were looking for that, but because we impulsively break up so hard already, I don't see this as any potential continuation. This looks like it's forming a little bit of a top, okay, but it's too early to tell. Potentially this is a top, or this is just, oh, this was just spreading things before the actual market opens. But let's see what would happen. You know, they can just develop a little bit further like this, and then we still continue going up, or just a deeper structure that has a little bit in depth of a structure, a little bit bigger swing high and swing low, and then still continue upwards afterwards. All right, so that's also a possibility. We know Bitcoin is likely to be volatile because we break all these levels, or so-called levels in people's eye. We broke the 20,000 price, and maybe a lot of people are going to jump into it, and the liquidity will be high, right? The volatility will be high. So personally, I will be waiting for a bigger structure or a bigger correction. I think that's the safer side to do. Last one here, Cardano. So ADA here, same idea, bullish push up, descending falling wedge structure. We push up once again, correction, push up, essentially forming a pennant structure. If we go down to the lower time frame, is this going to be a swing low? If it is, then yeah, potentially this correction or this continuation correction is finished, and we could potentially see further upside from this point forward. All right, so liking the lower time frame, liking this correction, impulse correction, and then potentially going more and more. All right, so that's all the crypto I'm looking at for this week. Favorite ones are still Ripple that I'm in. I like LTC for continuation. I really liked how price broke out this expanding structure. There was a clear entry here that a correction after breakout. We impulse out. Can we form another continuation here? And then pretty much just looking at the next daily swing top as a potential target. And if we zoom out here on the higher time frame, there's so much room to the upside already. And if we just break above previous high and then more continuation, then we could potentially push the price even higher. So we're a pretty good time to be in this area or in trading of crypto, in my opinion. A lot of these crypto had their glory days, in the 2017 time, and then we had that kind of collapse or crash, whatever you want to call, and then we're potentially could be resuming a bullish trend. All right, so any question, guys, let me know. If not, I'm gonna go to currencies. Just reading a comment. Yeah, I went over XRP, right? So I went over XRP already. Just looking for continuation, see what structure we'll do here. it looks like it is forming another continuation, more of a flag structure. So if this is all the swing highs and swing low we can get, then we potentially just going to push up afterwards. I don't. Is that a crypto? First time looking at this, I don't really trade this one, but all I see right now is inverse hand and shoulder. That's the latest kind of price action. But if I zoom out a little bit further, that this kind of structure kind of still makes me think this is a impulsive move. This can be just a correction before downside. But lower time frame right now, if this is a bullish push, then this you want to see if this is going to be a continuation here, and then to push the price up further. Okay. Are you looking to buy and hold crypto or get in and out on the way up? Personally, I would be more trading crypto as an invest, meaning holding it for longer term, if that makes sense. Meaning that I will be looking for entries as a, you want to call it day trading, or intradays or whatever, as a trading setup. But ultimately, if the price behaves and whatever, I can hold it for longer term because of higher time frame condition, and the amount of room that we can potentially have is a lot, right? So that's kind of how my approach to it. I can trade, I can enter as a trader, but I can hold it as an investor, right? So potentially getting myself best potential risk reward if possible, and then holding the trade for as long as I can. Yeah, no problem. So any other question on these? Black background was better, really? Damn. But thanks for the feedback though, because I've been getting feedback on black background is hard to see sometimes. So I'm getting, and we'll just change it for and see what happens, right? We'll see how you guys like it or see whatever, and then go from there. Maybe I can change the color of the candlesticks as well. So, anyways, let's go into currency here. Aussie dollar. So what do I see here? Um, If I just zoom out here, we had this push up, and is this a continuation correction? Looks like it is. We break up, but we continue higher here? And that's kind of why I'm just still keeping an eye on this. Certainly this is not enough for a sell in my honest opinion. Okay, that's just a lower time frame correction where not you have to zoom out a little bit and see what the higher time frame has been doing. Okay, so what I would see, or what I want to see for this week is, can we form some sort of reversal price action in this overall condition? If we just kind of push down continuously down, so we had a clear impulse here, and then we form a larger correction, something that looks assemble or in this depth, so looking like a top head and shoulder pattern at the top of the overall price condition will be moving up massively already. So if this can be a larger form of head and shoulder here, that's probably something I would be more keeping an eye on. Other than that, like not interested in the sell here. I certainly don't see that's enough of a confluence to the sell. Okay, sure, we have an impulse move. We had some sort of correction, and then we push out, right? And if this is a correction here, it could be going down. But personally, I don't want to hold. Personally, I don't want to hold this one, or I don't want to enter a position like this because just seeing how much higher time frame has been moving already. Okay, so we'll see what happens. Like I said, want to see a little bit more development from Aussie dollar here. A little bit more strength from the dollar would be ideal. Kiwi dollar, very same idea. If we're still in this overall kind of channel structure, again, we talk about don't have fear of missing out, don't get trapped in this all consolidation. What can we expect from this? Well, we had a swing top, three swings tops here to make a structure here, and then we had this first push down. Is this a first correction? Could be, but that still won't be my liking. I would want to wait for a confirmation breakout from this structure. We have seen a lot of these push down from the price before. They're usually not long-lived, and that means after the correction finish, we pushed down, and then there was no continuation out of the longer or bigger structure. So I wouldn't want to see just more commitment or more momentum from the market. That's going to be my confirmation here. Okay, so if it starts dropping here, good. Let it break out here, and then wait for some sort of continuation after it breaks out this structure here. If not, likely we're just going to see more consolidation, which we have been seeing all this past price action anyways, and just let no trade for us, and just let the market keep developing. Black was better. Okay. So let's continue. Euro dollar. Mentioned this last week. What the price will do in this area is it's going to be just ascending structure, continue, or are we going to see some reversal? To me, this is a little bit indecisive. You can argue that lower time frame you push up, and is this a continuation correction to continue, or we're just going to slowly trickles down, and from this point forward, and then break out of this overall structure. Okay, so that's what I want to see this week. Just because we know that talk about dollar index has been weak ever since we break out here, and potentially for me more correction. Euro dollar obviously mimic or mirror dollar index. And is this going to be a continuation? Are we just going to see more further dollar weakness? Okay. So if we look at euro dollar, one can argue that we're seeing a potential bullish move here and then continue upwards. For me, I'm more in the middle. I'm more just kind of on the sideline. I don't need to kind of guess where euro dollar or dollar would be going. I just want to wait for a little bit more commitment. We've been breaking up. We break up impulsively. We had a correction, but this move here alone is not impulsive to me. This is more corrective price action. So just kind of seeing what the price will do in this area. So, and then kind of more, and then get a little bit more information from price from the market before making a bias of where it's going to go. Pound dollar, this one was talked about a lot. I think a lot of you guys are thinking about pound dollar. Let me take a look here. We talk about pound dollar can be one of two things. I think there was some news during pound, and then the pound was moving during the weekend. And anything can happen, right? And the price can move during the weekend when market closes or opens. It's totally different kind of price action. Okay, so don't let all that kind of affects you, right? When the market opens, when things happen, then you determine from that. So how do I see on pound dollar? Well, all this price action before, when it's dropping down here, all this pullback, and I said I didn't really like this kind of corrected price action. Originally had the structure evolvements, and I was waiting to see an impulsive phase of the market because we're in this overall larger structure. But instead, we kind of just correctively move down, and then we correctively move up once more. But we are at the previous top, and we are at a previous kind of daily higher time frame top from the previous price. We can see this is an area that price is likely to react to, and we're in this area once again. So how can I see or where I can see this now? Well, when market opens, we have this gap when market opens. Okay, so originally I wanted to wait for price to develop a correction here like this, forming a potential right shoulder of this head and shoulder, top of the correction, ascending channel, double top here. It all looks pretty good. But when price opens like this, I don't think the sell is there. I certainly won't be jumping into a sell here because this is quite a bit of gap here. I don't really want to get trapped in this kind of consolidation like so. So I think what price is likely to do now is wait for lower time frame correction. We dropped down massively already, so likely in the Asian session we're just going to see correction through Monday morning of either London session or New York session, and waiting for just on the lower time frame we give it a couple hours of development here, maybe some sort of structure, and then waiting for the sell commitment from either London session or New York session. That's a pretty good one. We kind of have this head and shoulder. This is just a very slanted right shoulder, and then we push down. So we'll see what happens. Don't worry about the gapping. We'll just kind of let the Asia session develop itself, see if this is not going to reverse back up, right? We're just seeing a little bit more consolidation here, and that's good for us in the Monday morning sessions for London or New York. I think that's better. Taking cautious with pound pairs. Yeah, I mean, that's the way to go because of all this volatility that has been happening, right? So, yeah, stock. I can go over stock after, but I can quickly go over this. Um, Certainly, all this is pretty bullish price action, right? So if I'm seeing this, I'm not going to jump in like that. Uh, Wait for a bigger structure to develop, right? Wait for a bigger structure to develop to give you confirmation. So anyways, that's pound dollar. I'm gonna jump into dollar cat now. So dollar cat, we're in this consolidation here, and I think talk about this last week as well. Is yes, higher time frame structure. We broke down. Impulsively. We broke the previous low, but we are forming some sort of a reversal structure here. On the lower time frame, we're seeing a few swing highs and a few swing lows. We're breaking up. Like I said, the breakup doesn't matter. We want to see confirmation from the market. Are we going to see a bullish kind of continuation? Are we going to see a continuation correction to kind of give us a little bit more momentum to push the price up? All right, so I do see potentially this can reverse, but from the higher time frame, how much can this move go? It's uncertain at this point. We can just push up and then form a larger structure like this, and then still go down afterwards. Okay, but looking at this just from the lower time frame, there is potential lower time frame push off on the dollar, and I do see this move here can do that. But I can, looking at how much price has already dropped, I don't see this going all the way to the top here or anything. I do see at least to this previous top, and then see if we just get more bullish activities to continue. I think that's how we will reevaluate to see if price forms differently, if it's going to see reversal, and then go from there. In a dark period, a light background is better. You mean in a dark room or dark setting, you mean? So a light background is better? So this or gray? Is gray better or blue better? Gray is better? Darker blue at night. Yeah. Well, to be honest, I wanted to not do black. That was my intention, to be honest, because I had black for a really long time. I look at black for years, to be honest. Or, so I wanted to change it up to something else, to be honest, and that was my plan, to do that. But I'll periodically change them, to be honest. I like to change them. I like to have different color every once in a while. I like that. Um, so dollar Singapore dollar here. Um, we're still in this kind of descending channel, okay? And I mentioned about price can just be consolidating in this descending channel for a while. Excuse me. A while meaning that we can just keep dropping down, trickling down. But as long as price is behaving in this corrective pattern, corrective price action, I'm still, looking for that first kind of reversal from the price and then continue on the lower time frame. That's usually going to be a very sharp, impulsive phase of the market. Okay, it's just that it's not ready yet, right? We're always kind of waiting for price to develop and then waiting for the breakout confirmation, waiting for the correction to finish before that impulsive phase. So I see the same thing here. Just is this the move here now? Obviously, you can't determine at the point. I think waiting for a breakout here, waiting for the correction is more confirmation here. That's always going to be my confirmation. The same setup, similar setup like dollar peso that I took. If you guys recall, I took a loss here. I like the overall structure. We broke up. There was a continuation on the lower time frame, and it just didn't continue at the time. And the way how I see it is that the structure wasn't finished. We can evolve the structure. Now it's more of a descending channel, and either this move can push up and continue to go, or you can just push up and push down one more time and then continue to go. And understanding the correction can drag on for a while, and you understand the structure is evolving or ever changing, and we just have to adapt to what it is. Original black was great. Yeah, no, I do feel you. I kind of want to change to other than black because I've been seeing black a lot, and I just wanted some change there, to be honest. 040 E41. How do you insert that? Oh, like this, huh? I'll do that after. Thank you for that. I'll remember this. So, I'll talk about Aussie Swiss really quick. Overall, here on the higher time frame, I still think there is a potential argument for a reversal. Okay, we're just yes from the higher time frame, we impulse up. This is a larger correction, and we could potentially just continue upwards. This is certainly the one way or the majority way of seeing this. But I want to be a little bit more cautious and careful because on the lower time frame here, this bit of a correction is still not not confirmed to me at least. Um, Not as a clean kind of impulse and then continuation correction, and we're seeing the upside. This to me is an expanding kind of structure, and I talk about expanding structure sometimes is they tend to be a reversal when it's at the top of the overall price action rather than a continuation. Okay, just based on experience or based on back testing, I've seen these structure a lot. I see them um, tend to be a reversal in nature. And the way to be confirm all this is obviously you just have to wait for price to develop a little bit more, right? Right now we have a tendency to have a structure. We do have a few swing highs and lows. And can this move just continue down more and then lower time frame correction to push out of this structure, at least previous low, and then more correction to go down? I think that's just going to be a better confirmation because right now, to me, you can argue for both way, and if you can really argue for both way, then it's best not to try to guess which side to go. Okay, just wait for it to come to us and things like that. Okay. So Aussie Kiwi, still in Aussie Kiwi, mentioned this in the trade recap video. Looking just first potential target just at the top of this structure here. And then I want to see if we just get bullish activity to continue up, and then we can continue the bullish momentum to the upside because daily, it's very clean that if this is that descending channel, a continuation for all this bullish move, we can potentially just see the price continue to all the way to the previous top. I'm happy to hold for a longer term, understanding the potential risk reward in there, and then just to see potential scaling if we just break out and we impulsively continue breaking up and then bigger correction form here and then looking for more upside to all the previous top here. Certainly looking for entry here after we just broke the previous top is ideal. Looking for a sizable structure or something like this to continue the price all the way to the previous top. That's Aussie Kiwi. Aussie Yen, I do want to go over this one as well. Um, Aussie Yen here. We're looking at this as a potential double top, but again, structure here is not complete. Anything can happen here. Right? You can just form a continuation, which is the trend that is showing us, or this can be a reversal. Again, expanding structure, small and smaller than the one that we just looked at, but it is an expanding structure if you look at it on a lower time frame. So how to determine this? Again, just waiting for a little bit more development. Can this be just like a kind of a small channel pushing up and we break out from this area and then continuation down this way? Certainly see that happening in if we get that kind of bearish price action. And higher time frame wise, I like how we're in this expanding area, right? It doesn't have to, in my opinion, the structure doesn't have to always hit the third touch or whatever people ask me about. I think structures, at least to me, two swing highs and swing lows is already enough to complete as a structure. You just have to go down to a lower time frame to look for a little bit more clarity. Because this move is somewhat pushing up impulsively, I'm not just going to short double top like that without a little bit more confirmation. That's why I said wait for this structure to complete. If it's going down, then it will complete itself and then lower time frame to go down further. Or if this is going to just trickles down here and then reverse up, and this becomes a continuation correction for this move here, and then we'll just continue upward more and more and more, right? So no need to guess here. Again, I can see it both way. I would prefer to see the bearish move on the market, and then because that's going to give you, in my opinion, better risk reward because you're at the top of the overall structure here. You have lots of room for the downside. Okay. Cat Yen. So in Cat Yen, went over again in the trade recap video. Double top here. We have this ascending kind of structure on the higher time frame. Again, the structure doesn't have to hit that trend line or whatever that people talk to me about. It doesn't have to be any 3-touch, 2-touch, or whatever. It's a minimum of 2-touch, and you just have to see how the structure behaves. It's not going to be perfect always like textbook because that's how the market is. It's not perfect, right? So I like how the ascending channel within this larger kind of ascending, expanding channel, we have this price moving up and down here, and mentioned that clean kind of left shoulder, right shoulder as well. So left shoulder here, head, right shoulder just went for a easy breakout entry. Happy with the stop loss here. Happy to have it a little bit wider in case price correct itself a little bit more. And the pushing down now, and we're just at the previous area here. I like that we have lots of room to the downside. Okay, this is just the beginning of the bearish run, in my opinion. This can just be that that reversal we need when we're at the top of the overall price condition and price action. This can be that good reversal structure price action we're looking for, and just potentially pushing price more and more and more. So first target, just the lows of this overall correction. It's about 5 to 1 or so. We'll see if we can just continue more impulsively and then just reach into the lows of this area. Certainly could be looking for scaling entries as we go. Again, I've made a video about scaling. Certainly I want to look for a little bit more tangible structure or something that looks deep enough or convinced enough for me to be adding another position in. Daily imbalance of 80.41. Yeah, I mean, if you're looking at, if you're looking at, kind of the area, I want to keep support resistant or supply demand zone or whatever. Certainly anything can appear if we just join there or whatever, right? But this is why I don't want to draw those lines in. I just look at it as how the price is because I understand price action condition, right? If I do see what you mean, join the lines, then I'm not going into the trade because I'll be trading through those lines in the middle, right? Thoughts on UJ? Sure, we can take a look. UJ is not on my watch list, but I'll go over this. Personally, is usually not usually. I mentioned this a few times. Is I don't like to trade dollar yen because usually when dollar and yen are strong, they tend to be a little bit more consolidated. So all this to me is consolidation price work. We did break the previous low, which is good. Okay, and then if we go to lower time frame, what do we have here? Do we have an inverse head and shoulder? Yes. But is this enough to justify a trade? No, I think you need a little bit more confirmation. This is good that we have this descending channel. And we did have all this impulsive move. If you can see, we have a correction, impulse, we have a correction. And instead of an impulse move, this is more of a corrective structure. So correctively moving down to the bottom here. And this is to me not enough. I want to see a little bit more confirmation, bullish move, and then continue upwards. All right, that's going to give you a slightly better entry and slightly better, safer side to enter these trades because anything can happen while the price is consolidating or correcting, as I always say, is that you can just move up and then move down, move up and one down. It just kind of triggers a lot of potential entries for people because they're afraid that it can just kind of take off on like that or whatever. And sometimes we as traders, we get stuck in that mind because like of the of FOMO, right? We talk about this is we're afraid the next move the price will just start shooting up in the straight line, and then we're going to miss the entry. But the price is never going to move that fast, guys. You always understand. In order for price to start moving up, like what we have seen here in the past, there's going to be lower time frame corrections and lower time frame entries, right? So it's never going to be something that you can never catch or trying to capitalize. It's just waiting for more development so your entries are not getting lost in this consolidation period. And then once all this consolidation correction finishes, and then price takes off, and then we get a lot emotional because we lost a few trades here, and then price took off as we kind of forecast, but we were never in the trade because we lost a few already. Okay, so yeah, no problem. Good. So let's continue. Dollar Swiss you mentioned. Did I not go over Dollar Swiss? Oops. Okay, sorry. I this was on my watch as well. So Dollar Swiss, again, very similar kind of price action, right? We were just in descending channel. It's very similar, like a few that we just looked. Dollar CAD, dollar Singapore dollar. Just waiting for this correction to finish. And this is very evenly correction. Usually when you see these things, it's a good indication from the market that this is certainly a corrected phase of the market. Can we correct how long, how far? Obviously, anything can happen, but we likely to get that reversal. And this is why price action gives you that clue. We understand that we were in this larger correction, and technically, when we break out of that, we're supposed to get continuation to continue downside impulsively. But instead, what we're looking at here is just very corrected price action. So this is giving you a clue that once the correction is over, and if we see the breakout from the confirmation on the lower time frame, this move is very probable to happen. Right? Not always, but if we do backtest enough, you're going to see this move a lot of times in the market, and this is why it's going to give us traders more confidence to enter these trades because when you backtest, when we do forecasting, when you see these things happen, you kind of just program your head to understand, okay, I'm going to be looking for this. I'm going to be looking for this potential reversal from the price because it's likely to be very strong and very fast. Okay, so on the higher time frame, yeah, to me, this is too corrective in my opinion. This is not impulsive kind of price action condition. So how do we see? And then we just broke previous low as well. So this is a value, or I will not say value, a key area to possibly be looking for reversal. All right, possibly if we're looking for reversal. So just keeping an eye on this one and seeing the little bit more development on the lower time frame. Right, you can see this corrects for at least 10, 12 days, so almost 3 weeks of trading time. And the longer and deeper it corrects in this formation, the better it is to be looking for that move to the upside. So went over CAD yen, right? So let's go Swiss yen. So Swiss yen, talk about this, and I think I made a post here. Didn't get involved with this one. I got enter CAD yen instead. But looking at Swiss yen here, I like the overall structure because we had this kind of expanding structure. And I mentioned when you see a larger expanding rather at the top of the price action, but instead you're seeing it as a continuation. You see a move already happen, and then you're just seeing a larger kind of expanding price action that we're seeing. So this to me could be a continuation larger expanding structure. And how to confirm that is really just going to lower time frame condition. We see this lower time frame descending channel, hit the previous top, we push down, and then another small expanding continuation correction. Right, so we push down once more. Just kind of seeing what will happen here is this is kind of more corrective price action we're seeing. Can we just see more bearish kind of price action to go down? Okay, I do favor a lot of these yen pairs for this week or next. I do want to see them all shaping up to be ready. So Swiss yen, let's go over euro yen. Excuse me, guys. So euro yen. Someone asked me about euro yen. I mentioned this is a key area. I think I mentioned this in my Telegram chat. This is a key area where the price is likely to do. This is a swing high. I mentioned a lot of time double top does not need to hit the double top, or it can break the double top or whatever. It's all about what the price is doing in relation to this area of a potential double top. To me, this is a very expanding structure, like I mentioned. And again, we're at the top of the correction rather than in the middle as a continuation. So seeing this on the lower time frame, if we drop down here, so you have this kind of what we call a fake breakout, so to speak. Just because a candle breaks out or whatever doesn't mean it's an automatic buy, right? You want to see it from a price action point of view. So to all the lower time frame here, it simply just had this impulse up and then a reverse impulse down, and potentially this is the first correction that I'm seeing here, and where price is pushing down. And I mentioned this last week, I think in my Telegram, is wait for price to break out here, because anything can happen. It can dribble down here, form a bottom, and then still take off. And there's nothing wrong with price action. This becomes an impulse, correction, impulse, right? But on the lower time frame, it's going to give you a little bit more clarity. So don't need to rush the trade, guys. Wait for the breakout from here. Wait that price confirmation break lows this, and then there's always going to be lower time frame correction. That's just going to give you a much better entry or much better risk reward. It gives you a more confirmation sell, because you don't want to get trapped in consolidation. Price trouble down and then just reverse up. You've seen that a lot as well. And nothing is wrong with price action. And this is why we don't need to guess here, right? Yes, lower time frame. Don't have FOMO, guys. Yes, this is a sell. If you didn't get in the sell, you didn't get in the sell. There's nothing you can do. Stop trying to chase these things, right? This move can just happen and start dropping down, and you look back, you didn't enter, and then in the future, when you see something like this, you're always trying to enter, and then that's just gonna take you all a lot. Okay, so you just have to have a good plan when it comes to price action. Yes, we're seeing confirmation here, but is it is it enough to justify a trade? In my opinion, no, because we've been consolidating here for such a long time. Anything can happen here. If we look back all this price here, we had all these pushed down, right? We have all this bearish move pushed down. There's certainly small lower time frame correction here. Certainly there is entries there, but do they work out? Do they break out of the structure? No, not single one at a time, right? So anything can happen. This can drop down and then just bounce back once more, once more, once more. Right? Getting trapped in this area is not wise, right? We want to wait for confirmation. Okay. S&P, yeah, I'm gonna go over S&P after. Okay, I'm just gonna finish up the currency here, and I'll jump into S&P. Almost there, guys. Almost there. Okay. I think someone asked about pound yen. Again, my approach at the time before all this market gap open was that I wanted to see same thing with pound dollar, just see what price will do at previous top, and then instead we opened like this, so this was certainly some news and all that. But to me, not much is here. I don't like this kind of price action. It's a little bit choppy, and it's a little bit too corrective in my liking. We want to be in the impulsive phrase, right? We talk about it. This I thought what could be the impulsive phrase, forming a head and shoulder, but it did not. So all this kind of price action I don't really like. I don't want to get in the trade here and then just correct itself much longer and deeper. You're just getting trapped in this consolidation. Anything can happen. It's not too clear to me compared to something like we just went over euro yen. If this correction is over, we can certainly see more downside. It's just that simple, right? This is very clean kind of price action. This is the impulsive phrase. This is a corrective phrase. We're waiting for either a bullish impulsive phrase or a bearish impulsive phrase. It's black and white like that. Right? We understand the market condition. It could only be impulsive and corrective. Whereas pound yen here, it's a little bit too choppy. It's just very corrective. It's not even really corrective for anything. It's just very indecisive kind of price action. I would just not choose this yen pair over the other yen pairs that we just went over. Okay. How do I draw so fast? You mean this pen? This is a pen, or what do you call it? A brush. It's called a brush. So you can use brush like this, and then I can do Control V to back eliminate it. Okay. So Kiwi yen here, higher time frame. We're kind of just still correcting up in this kind of ascending channel. It's a little bit indecisive move, but certainly to me, this is not an impulsive phrase. If this was the impulsive phrase and this was a correction, we should see a lot more upside. But this is a little bit indecisive, choppy condition. Going down to lower time frame, price is somewhat forming a structure here. It's a little bit indecisive. Once again, this can be a very neutral kind of correction. It can again be some sort of expanding structure that I talk about. Can we just see price break down here and then continue downwards? Certainly want to see price break below all these kind of previous low area and then continue with a continuation correction. That is going to confirm further downside in my opinion. And again, we're at the top of the overall price condition and a potential reversal price action as well. Waiting for more downside is very probable. There's lots of room for a potential downside move. Moving on, Euro Aussie here. I want to include Euro Aussie here because again, it's similar like Aussie Swiss, and we're in the area where, in my opinion, both arguments can work, and that's why it's kind of better to just be on the sideline waiting for a little bit of development. While one way of seeing this is a strong impulsive move, this is a larger correctional structure, and we have this push down, potential continuation expanding structure, and we're pushing down more. That's certainly one way of seeing that, and that's the higher time frame approach. I certainly have a little bit more bias leaning towards that. But looking at it from a lower time frame perspective, this is a lower time frame kind of expanding structure. And are we seeing bearish momentum yet? It's a little bit hard to tell. Originally, I had the structure like this. We push up, potential continuation. That didn't happen. We pushed down once more, but again, corrective price action here. This structure can still be a reversal structure. We talk about expanding structure. At the top of the structure can be a reversal. In this case, this is just inverse, right? So it's the same idea here is if we see expanding structure at the lows of the overall price action condition, this can be a reversal to push the price up. Okay, and again, I don't need to guess here. I just want to see further development here. I'd be happy to see the price either way. I could happy to see price impulse up, bullish push up from this point forward, and that confirms this is a reversal structure on the higher time frame, and that we can see more further upside from this point forward. I'd be happy also if we just see price breakdown here impulsively and form continuation, and I would want to get in on this sell as well for a long-term perspective, because on the higher time frame, this is clearly an impulsive move. This is a larger correction. We can be in the next impulsive phase. Okay, so that's Euro Aussie. That's my point on that. Let's go Euro Kiwi. Very similar structure. Again, we're at the bottom now. This one actually gives us, at least to me, a more clean, kind of bullish kind of price action. Recall I was in a few of these trades. We had this bullish move up and then larger bullish continuation correction as a larger channel. And again, we're forming a few highs and free swing lows. So very good, consistent kind of price action condition. And if this push up to the upside, continue upwards, then yes, this would be a pretty good upside move in my opinion. We had all this corrected price action for a while, descending channel. We had this lower time frame push up, potentially lower time frame continuation correction, and we're seeing more upside from this point forward. That is more convincing to me right now than the potential downside at the moment. Even though this is an impulse correction impulse, and likely to see a larger correction, especially we're at the lows of this larger higher time frame structure. Anything can happen here. We can just consolidate here longer and then still drop, or this is going to form some sort of reversal. I mentioned we can just see more upside from this point forward. Right, we're at the lows of the structure once again, and potentially this structure is not finished, and we're just going to see a larger channel structure. Right, don't worry about all this price from COVID, right? If we're looking at the structure, if we're zooming out here, we're still in this kind of overall price action condition. We're still in this kind of corrective price action on the higher time frame. All right. So let's continue. Kiwi Cat here. So Kiwi Cat was looking for further downside. Recall I take a loss here in my trade recap I mentioned. Was looking for a continuation short down here. Instead, we're breaking out of the structure, so no longer kind of looking like a continuation, but on the higher time frame, if we zoom out here, uh, can we just kind of continue correctively move up to the next previous top and then still form a kind of a reversal M style pattern that I talk about many times in my videos? It's very good that we have a double top here and a previous kind of double bottom. This is forming a potential reversal structure. Right? We've seen this kind of structure a lot in the previous kind of price action, a lot from any kind of pairs. Right? We see these kind of M style pattern over, right? It's the same idea here. We had this drop down, and then we had a correctional phrase. We push up once more, but forming that double top M style pattern, and then we see the reversal. So very likely we can be getting that. Okay, so I'll keep an eye on this one. Looking for just a little bit more development from the price here. That will give me more confirmation for the sell. I'm happy to just wait a little bit longer because I was in one of this sell and then got off for a good profit and then took a loss here. So still plus on the overall move of this one, but I want to see a little bit more development here or potentially pushing price to that double top area. Overall price action from a target perspective, there's a lot of room to the downside. This is a lot of room for that potential reversal. We like that higher time frame reversal price action condition. So just have to be patient once more, guys. Last one I want to go over is Kiwi Swiss. See, very similar like Euro Kiwi. They're very inverse correlated. We're forming this potential continuation. It's like a flag. We had this impulse down, potential continuation, and then looking for further downside. Higher time frame, we broke the previous top. This is that previous swing high top, and price is again very corrective. It's all about what the price is doing at that previous swing high top. Is the price very impulsively breaking above, or is it more corrective? Because the corrective price action gives you that the lower time frame may be exhausted. We're not seeing any more bullish activity. Instead, we're just seeing a more reversal-like movement from the price action. Okay, so waiting for what will happen in this area, waiting for a little bit more bearish confirmation to the downside. I do like this one as well, but Euro Kiwi and this one are very similar. So if looking for entry, certainly just going to choose one. Okay. So any question, guys, let me know. If not, I'm going to jump into the indices and the commodities to wrap things up. Okay. Let me know if you have any questions. Okay, so let's continue. Sugar, talk about this in the last outlook or weekly outlook. I mentioned that I like these commodities when we start consolidating. When we see consolidation in the past, likely we're going to see the impulsive phrase to resume. So I like how these price action is behaving now. There's a potential few swing highs and few swing lows. This could be a channel structure. Can we see kind of continuation upward this point forward? I expect price to actually hit the previous top area if we get that bullish activity to push up. So certainly something we can watch out for or even hold for a long-term perspective. If I zoom out here on sugar on the higher time frame, again, we're just at the very bottom of the overall price condition. Anything can happen here. All this is just price is building up for that COVID drop, and then we're just recovering from the COVID drop. And can we just break above the previous high and then start a bullish trend? Okay, so keeping an eye on this one. I like these commodity, meaning that I want to, these trades are usually something I want to hold longer, right? They're more as, enter as a trade, but you hold it as an investment kind of thing. I like these kind of potential risk reward in this one. Let's move on. So let's move on to gold. I want to talk about gold here really quick because gold can be shaping up to something from a long-term perspective. If I just zoom out here on the daily, I talk about that overall when we see gold on the higher time, but this is just a massive bullish trend, right? We see impulse correction, impulse correction, impulse correction, impulse. And this is the time during coronavirus after, and then we're seeing all this corrective price action. And as this is more corrective, as we see more of these swing highs and swing lows, the more I'm looking at this as a continuation structure for all this price action. And can we get that confirmation on the lower time frame? We have already been in this larger, higher time frame channel structure. We have already seen a few larger impulse correction impulse. Right, we had this impulse, and instead we had this reversal impulse in pushing the price. So this is all good from my perspective, seeing this lower time frame move. So what I want to see from the higher time frame now is, can we develop further activity to just push out and then a sizable deeper correction to confirm that the upside is continued and that we're just going to see gold continue to break all-time high and continue to move up as the dollar continue to tank potentially, and looking at Bitcoin, other crypto continue going up, looking at gold for continuation to go up as well. Okay, so that's kind of my long-term approach on it. Certainly, nothing is ready or up for grab on lower time frame. I don't see much in this. This can just move up here and then continue going down. It can just be consolidated for a while, right? That's why I mentioned higher time frame structure is key. Waiting for a little bit more development, waiting to see what the structure will do or what the price action will do. Overall, if we zoom out, we can see that a lot of these price action has been moving up. We have been in this bullish trend. Is this enough correction for all this move that has been happening? And we can see more further upside. Did I do Kiwi Dollar? Yeah, I did Kiwi Dollar. I was mentioning I was waiting for, like I said, I don't want to jump into these smaller trade. There was a small kind of lower time frame sell setup in my opinion. Uh, if you see this as a correction, yeah, I certainly see this. Even this, you want to argue this can be a correction as well. But personally, I mentioned I want to wait for stronger confirmation out of the higher time frame. I want to see structure break out, forming a correction to get in, because all these previous sell that we have saying they're just all short-lived. I don't want to get trapped in the consolidation here. All right. So what was I? So talk about gold, right? So silver is the only one that could be still bearish, and I'm just kind of, this is kind of one way of seeing this. Of course, if this doesn't play out, if it doesn't shape up, then no trade or not looking at it personally. Seeing it from a price action point of view, we had this impulsive phrase down, and then we're getting in this larger continuation structure potentially. We had a few swing highs and a few swing lows. It all really depends on what the price will do in this area. This is already pretty impulsive. This is impulsive. This can be a correction here. We push up, and then what do we see here? Well, is it going to be consolidated and then push down followed by correction? I want to see this kind of bullish push down, bearish correction. You want to see a bearish push down, bearish continuation correction. If price doesn't form that and just continue upwards, then certainly no trade for me. That's kind of what I'm seeing on silver at the moment, okay, because of this expanding structure that I have seen in the past. Okay, so a little bit contradicting against gold, but again, gold is not ready yet for the upside either, right? I'm just saying that this correction should be finished and give us a little bit more confirmation. Okay, so those are two things I'm looking at in terms of commodities. Need a little bit more development on both. Gold, silver, Bitcoin looking to go higher. Yeah, that's certainly at least long-term perspective from my understanding of it. long up to 19. Yeah. If you're talking about gold, yeah. I certainly do see potential from gold if we do see a breakout or whatever, more bullish activities, bullish momentum. Pound cat, no, pound cat was not on my watch list. Wasn't really interested in pound cat. I don't think there was any setup in my opinion. Um, because all this gapping that happened when market opened, usually don't like to kind of get in touch with those after because sometimes gap gets filled, sometimes it doesn't. Who to say? Who to say this is the time that it won't, or who to say this time it will, right? So I don't really need to guess here. I already don't like a lot of these pound kind of price action because of what's going on with their country in terms of their news or Brexit things. I certainly don't want to get involved because I think this is all pretty swinging, in my opinion. That can happen in a couple of days. I don't like to trade or hold through positions in that kind of matter. So I want to talk about S&P. Yeah, let's talk about all the indices to wrap things up. Um, so S&P 500, higher time frame. To me, nothing changed, and I've been saying that for probably months now. I hate to repeat it, but it's the same because structurally we're just still in this larger potential expanding structure. All this kind of ascending nature price action makes me think there's just a reversal is likely to come. Okay, and what I want to wait for early is just can price form enough correction here? Can it just form correction here, and then we have a strong drop down from here to continue? If I don't see that, then there's no trade. If this continues going up, then of course you're not gonna just sell from the top, whatever. You want to see confirmation from the market. So to me, is this correction finish, a correction push down, and then lower time frame correction to start the bearish trend? I think that's going to be very good risk reward down to the low, completing at least the structure here on the higher time frame. And the goal is pretty much similar to most of the indices I'm looking at. So Dow Jones, very similar structure, if not better. I like the previous top. So this is a double top. You can see this is before the COVID drop. We're in this kind of a wedge or triangle, whatever you want to call it, but this is a very corrective price action. We're getting squeeze, 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 squeeze. Even if it gets squeezed up to the top, I still would be looking for bearish reversal from this point forward. I like this kind of expanding channel structure. I like we're at the previous double top. I like this all this consolidated price action. It's just giving you kind of a signal, knowing that after all this consolidation finish, we're likely to be in the next impulsive phase. Okay. So let's move on. Let's move on to other ones. Nasdaq. Let me fix this. So sorry, I'm just changing the lights. So Nasdaq. Same idea here. We're forming this expanding structure. We had this ascending channel that pushed down. Was waiting for a first correctional structure to push down. Didn't happen. We instead have another ascending channel, which is good. Is this going to be a slanted M style structure to push price down? And we just broke the previous top as well. So all this previous price action or current price action is very important. Is this an ascending reversal channel? We push down, and then you can see the last like an hour of the market, it kind of just pushed the price up. But don't discount the fact that a little bit more consolidation here, and then next 1 or 2 day during New York session, we start seeing the bullish move. Sorry, bearish move. Okay, because we're at the top of the overall structure, we're seeing potential reversal price action and previous top as well. We're not getting anywhere right now. We're not seeing impulsive phrase. We're not seeing bullish price action either. Instead, we're just getting a consolidation phrase. Okay, so be a little bit more patient, just waiting for the structure or a little bit more confirmation from the price. Okay, there's no point to jump into these trades because you can see there's a lot of room to the downside. You're not gonna make money from here. You're more making money when you get the confirmation, and then you're getting money in this kind of area when the price is going to be in the impulsive phase, right? So I think that's it. There's no other ones I'm looking at. These other European indices, they're pretty much the same. Just waiting to see what will happen in the latest structure that they're in. They're likely to be reversal of the overall expanding structure that we're seeing on the higher time frame. So just giving it a little bit more time to wait for a certain thing, a little bit more confirmation from the market. All right, everyone. So that is it. That's all the indices I'm looking at. Okay. Any question, guys? Let me know. I'm happy to answer a few questions if you guys have. I've been talking to you about an hour already, so let me know if you guys have any questions. Happy to answer some questions. What about KAI? Yeah, that's a crypto, right? Uh, is it me, or is this I don't have too much data, or is it well, yeah, I do like what I'm seeing from higher time frame perspective. We had a strong push up. This is all corrective price action. And then finally, we see a little bit bullish activity here. We had sizable correction. We pushed price up once more, and then we're pushing price up once again. So can we form a little bit deeper continuation to push up? That is only what I'm interested in, because this is a good bullish move from the market from all this consolidating price action. So that's what I see on this one. You see a bearish move this year in Nasdaq. Potentially see a bearish move on most of the indices. To be honest, just waiting for a little bit further development. That's all. I'm not seeing any bullish activity at this moment yet. No, this is all corrective price action. It's pretty like reversal like price action. So Uh, either or. When indices fall, they fall fast. Will you still be waiting for usual correction after breakout? Um, Certainly anything can possible. I'm saying that if we see, if there's an entry that happens, of course you want to capitalize on it. But also, if the move happens, I talk about when indices move, they tend to move very, very, and we see these ascending structures over and over again, right? We talk about, don't just take my word for it. Look back at the market, back test it, see how much price has moved up and down, see how much of these ascending kind of structure happens over and over again in the market before the next market move down, right? We see these move over a lot, so sometimes you're not, sometimes you're likely to catch it, sometimes you won't, right? So it's all about just having a plan in the market. So when price start dropping, what are you going to do if you want to catch it, right? So personally, for this one, if you're talking about Nasdaq, I would be looking for a little bit more confirmation from the intradays, a little bit more confirmed breakdown and then correction. Even if it falls hard like this, eventually it's gonna have to make a correction before it continues down, right? Even if it's impulsive. Okay. Hey, thank you very much for the coin. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, so that's what I think about the indices. Any other question, guys? Yeah. If those of you who are new, I know there's a lot of familiar face already, but if you're new, if you're interested, you can join my channel. I do all the updates, notification, all my links I post there for educational purposes. So if you're interested, make sure you tune into that. I have a Telegram channel here. You can type in Ares Trading. You can find me. You can find me on YouTube as well. I make a lot of educational video. I do these Outlook. I do the daily Outlook 3 times a week. So make sure you can catch me on that, or you can catch me on TradingView, whatever that works for you. Okay. So any other questions? Not, and happy to end the stream here. Looking forward to the week ahead. And I mentioned this in the group is that make sure you understand during Christmas and during New Year's, the market tends to be slower, lower liquidity and things like that. So just watch out for if you're in positions or whatnot, because uh, sometimes you see the or some bigger spreads or whatever that will sometimes happen. So just keep an eye on that. Okay. So that is it, guys. Okay, so any question you can ask me on Telegram. Okay, and I will chat with you guys next time. I will have another daily outlook or market update, likely on Tuesday on New York session. So I'll see you guys next time. All right. Thank you very much, and have a nice day, everyone.